and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John, and this is what I've picked up from CEX and HMV in the past couple of days. So first of all, from CEX I picked up The Fighter for £1. Now I did used to own this on Blu Ray actually, and I have watched it and I did think it was a great movie. Now I do think that Christian Bale in here plays an absolutely stunning part. It's a true line boxing drama, which I'm all for. I'm a big fan of boxing in general, and the fact that the Mickey Ward story was told in this about him and his brother was a great movie. But I thought, is it a one-time watch for me? But the reason why I picked it up again was because I was looking through the filmography of Amy Adams, and I realised that she was in this, and I thought to myself, was that long ago? I didn't really remember she was in this. So I thought, I'm going to have to watch this again. So now I'm quite interested in getting some more Amy Adams stuff on the shelves, because I do find that everything I've seen her in, I really do like. So that's The Fighter. Next up, I picked up, for £5, I picked up The Gentleman. Now, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about this. Now, I think when Guy Ritchie's on form, he's really on form. And when he's not, he's really not on form. Some of the things he puts out is absolute trash. But this has been highly recommended by a lot of people, so I thought, well, I'll give this one a go. So hopefully this is back to the early form of Guy Ritchie, with Lock, Stock and Snatch being two incredible movies. So yes, that's The Gentleman. So next up I went to HMV, and then two for £24 4K sale. And I had a mooch around on the shelves, and I found two movies I've been after for quite a while. The first one I picked up was a movie that I've got before on Blu Ray, and it is, without a slipcover, Whiplash. Now this movie is astounding. When I first saw it, I was thinking it was going to be a movie just about drumming, and it is to a certain extent, but there's a lot more to it than that. And it was jazz drumming, and I thought, I'm not interested in jazz drumming at all. Mine is more punk and metal. So I got rid of it without watching it, which was foolish. So anyway, I did watch it later on, and I realised just how incredible this movie was, mainly for the performance from J.K. Simmons. It's unreal. It's one of the best performances you'll ever see in cinema. And there's 3 Academy Awards here. So, and Best Supporting Actor, J.K. Simmons, quite rightly. So this is a Sony release, and you do get the 4K and you do get the Blu-ray. So I put this on and checked out a few key scenes, and yes, the 4K is nice. It's not a huge upgrade on the 4K, and it's not one of the ones that you take, it's a jaw-dropping one, but it's nice, and it's better than the Blu-ray, but not by a huge amount. The sound is better on here, and it's just the fact that I just like this film that much that I just had to get it on the best possible format available. And it was a bit of a luxury to myself. But anyway, it's got no slipcover, so what I'm going to do, as you know, I bought a Blu-ray and it had a slipcover on, so I'm just going to put that onto this 4K. Now, that goes in there. In fact, as it goes on the shelf, and you'll never know. You would never know that that was a Blu-ray on there. It hasn't got the blue sign on it and anything like that. So that'll do me nicely, and I've been waiting for this to come down in the sale just so I can put it on the shelf. I must admit that I do prefer this cover, so I've got kind of 2 covers on there as well, which is nice, I suppose. That's the type of thing I like. So that's just part of my thing, which I wanted a slipcover on, and I'm so glad to get this movie anyway. I'll be watching this. Hopefully my wife will be wanting to watch this, because I've told her about it loads of times and she's kind of on the fence about it. But I think when she gets it, she'll understand how good this movie is. And I think she thinks it's more like a musical, but it's not. So that's Whiplash. So the other 4K I got in the 2 for £24 sale was a movie that I thought, when I saw it, I thought, I am not going to buy this one. The cover on here is absolutely horrendous. There's no slipcover. This is an amazing film, I find, and this should have been treated with a lot more respect than it was. It's another one that's come from Sony, and I think Sony, for some reason, just seem to be very much haphazard with the 4Ks. They just chuck them out, and it's just something you think, well, there's not any care and attention put in that. So the movie is Last Action Hero. I personally think this movie is incredible, and I've got so much time for it. It's one of the ones that sort of slips under the radar, and I'm so glad when this came out in 4K. Like I say, there's some spectacular versions of this out, but you can't get them for love nor money, and you're only left with this. They could have even put a slipcover on it, but they didn't. Now, that made me look, when I look at it, I thought, day one purchase for me. But when I saw it, I thought, there's no way I'm going to get that, because I just thought it was a bit of an insult. The cover itself, it's actually pixelated and it just looks as if it was made on a, I don't know, someone printed that off. It's like, it actually looks like a bootleg. So anyway, the actual thoughts on the movie itself, after all, that's what you're here for. It looks absolutely stunning. I've got to say, as well as the sound is just phenomenal. I love the sound on here. Everything about it is crisp and clean, and all the colours are amazing. The outdoor scenes, a lot of outdoor scenes in this movie. It's just a visual treat. So I knew it was that good, but this cover here was just keeping us away from this movie, I thought. But it's a real shame that Sony are doing this, not just for this movie, but for a lot of movies now. It just seems like they're not that bothered about them. And I think for the extra money you're paying, I know I got this cheap on a sale, that, well, that's the thing, it's come out that, it's in a sale now for £12. So it just shows you it's not really, it couldn't have sold that well, because I think a lot of collectors, especially 4K, seem to want to get a bit of a premium release. So that's the last action hero. So next I got Nocturnal Animals for Amy Adams. Now I've been looking through on Internet Movie Database her movies, and I thought, right, I'm going to start getting a few of these. Now this was only $5.99 I think, so I thought, right, I'm going to get that. There's another film called Her, which I want to get. And yeah, so just interested to see what Amy Adams brings to this role, and I'm going to watch a few more. I've got a few more of her movies now to watch. I've got to say that I think my favourite movie of hers will be Enchanted, because it's a phenomenal movie, that, and she's brilliant in that role. And so yes, so that it was a cheap one, like I say, so it was only $5.99. So that's Nocturnal Animals. So the next day I went across to HMV in the Meritor Centre at Gateshead. Now this is the first time I've been at that particular branch since it's moved. Now I'm a big fan of HMV and Meritor Centre, and I've got a good friend who works there, Stephen Monkey Mason. So he always gives me great tips and points me in the direction of some things I wouldn't know was there. If you've seen this, if you've seen that. And if I'm asking him about certain types of movies, he'll tell us what's good and what's bad about them. And it's great that you've got people like that in shops that show you around these and point you to these things. And he told us about the layout of the shop, and because obviously I was fresh to it and I was wandering around and thinking, well, where's this, where's that? And he said, oh, that's over there. You know, the stuff I want to go to for Arrow 88. All of really good collector's items are all in one place. So he's got a really good setup, and we had a great chat. And we've got a few things planned for maybe in the future to do with the channels, and but more news on that when it happens. I'll keep you posted on that. So I'm going to link down below the two moving videos that Stephen had actually made, and he's cut. I don't know how when he told me about how many pieces he had to cut together for this video, I nearly fainted, because usually I just take this in one shot and just take out the mistakes. I couldn't imagine how much editing that would have taken. So the channel is, I've talked about this one before, Lonely Tree Entertainment, and I'm going to put a link down to those two moving videos down below. You'll have a great time with them. And if you're ever in the shop, just have a word with Stephen. He's a great guy. He's so approachable, and he's, like I say, he's got, if you're stuck or you want a little bit of help with something, he'll just point in the right direction, and he's always one step ahead. When you say, what about this, what about that, he'll tell you where it's at in the world, if it's going to get released. So it's great to know that you've got that kind of information you can get from the shop. Also as well, before I show you the two things I picked up there, when I went to pay for these two things, his girlfriend Britt works in the shop at this moment, and is the first. I've seen his videos before with Britt, and it's got some great videos that we're talking about actually when I paid for my stuff. So Britt is the first person I've ever seen in the flesh from a video, and I've got to admit I was a bit starstruck. It's funny to see somebody that you've seen on a screen for years actually to be actually in front of you, and you're standing having a conversation with them. So if you're watching Britt, it was quite an experience, I've got to admit. But it was great to actually talk to Stephen and Britt, and obviously I'll be bumping them a lot in the future. So if you have an HMV in the Meritor Centre in Gateshead and you see Stephen, just get yourself over and have a chat with him. He's great. And if you've got any questions, I'm sure he'll answer them for you. So what did I actually get from HMV after all that? So the first thing I picked up was the Chinese Boxer. Now this has got an absolutely amazing slip. Jimmy Wang Yu stars in this movie. I think this movie's from 1970 actually, and this is released by 88 Movies. It's on the Asian Cinema Collection. This is a reversible art there. Also it comes with a poster, and it also comes with a booklet as well. But This is actually spine number 27 on the Asian collection range. Now, the good thing about it is, now up there, it'll stick out like a sore thumb if you've got it in to go with the other ones there. You'll think, well, hang on a minute. These ones, you know, in the middle of it has got this. What they've done is they've also put this spine on it. So when you put it on there, you've got the option if you wanted to do that. Yeah, spine number 27. So I think that's a great touch that 88 have done that. And I didn't realise that when I first saw it. Actually, I didn't realise it was in this range. So there you go. So that's I'm really interested to watch this movie. I've put it on, I've checked it out, and I've got to say that the print and everything is absolutely spectacular, as you would imagine. It's obviously got Kung Fu Bob O'Brien's artwork on here, which is great. I don't know if he's done the artwork for all of the Asian cinema ones, but I'm really glad that he's doing it from now. So this is remastered from the original negatives as well. And the movie does look, it's actually region A and B compatible, which I haven't seen before on these releases. Not that I've really looked for it. So yes, as soon as I saw this announced, I thought I've got to get that one. So that's The Chinese Boxer. So lastly, I got for £10 in the Arrow sale. Now this is a movie that I thought, I fancy that one, and then I've never seen it again. And it was, you know, quite a bit of money when it came out, and I didn't really understand why until I actually got the set and looked at it. So the movie I bought is The Stylist. Now this movie here is a brand new movie. I think it's from 2020 or thereabouts, and it's like a sort of fashion house, I'm going to say. I don't know anything more about that, but I do know that it's got there's a lot of good things said about this movie. Also on here you get a 2-disc limited edition, so you get your Blu Ray on here, and also you get on disc 2 you get the CD soundtrack. So that's why this movie was a little bit more expensive to buy. It's also got another cover on there, which is slightly different, not too much. But yeah, so for £10 in a slipcover, you can't knock it. Plus with a CD soundtrack, which I was really quite surprised to get there. I thought it was going to be a 2-disc edition, or you got the DVD with it. So I'm interested to see this movie. I don't know anything about it. I do know that it's got some good reviews, and it looks incredible. And the soundtrack, which you've got a CD for in here, is really good as well. Is it a bit of a giallo? I'm not too sure. Like I say, sometimes I go into these movies blind unless I know they are 100% giallo. I just prefer just to chuck them on and see what it gives us. So, thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.